Here on the Kim Komando Show, we like to impart incredible know-how. And sometimes we have to use technical terms to do that, right?
Okay.
And there's always a lot of acronyms.
Right.
Well, here's a techno term that I ran across the other day that I thought, wow, we really are going to need to explain this, people. Are you ready for it?
I'm prepared.
Sicko fancy.
I think I saw that movie.
That was Psycho.
Oh.
Sicko fancy. It is the technical term that AI is being trained to not only give you the facts, but also to say, you're just brilliant. And thank you for asking me that question.
I don't know why it's been doing that. It's probably been like the last 4 or 5 months.
Oh, and Gemini's even worse.
I don't use Gemini enough to know, but ChatGPT is like, that's a great point. I'm so glad you pointed that out.
Well, but ChatGPT now is also doing, they give you the answer and say, well, would you like to know the real story behind this? And you're like, okay.
Is that just to keep us attached more?
Yes.
Okay.
So a Stanford study found that leading AI chatbots change their answers when we push back, even when the original answer is correct. And so they are trained to always make you happy or to be sicko fancy.
Oh, okay.
So what I do, and I was telling some folks about it here in the studios, and they thought it was hysterical, is that I am on Chat and I get an answer from Chat. Or Claude, rather. I get an answer. I'm on Claude, and then I get an answer from Claude. And then I put it into Gemini and I go, here's what Claude said.
Trying to top it?
Oh, yeah. And then I'll show ChatGPT and say, I think Gemini and Claude know more than you. And then ChatGPT will say, well, yeah, but they forgot this, 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 and this. And then, but the best one is Claude will always say, oh, that's just Gemini hallucinating again.
They're competitive with each other?
Yeah, you should try it. It is so funny. So now, sicko fancy.
Got it. Locked in.
And you see, that's just an example of all the fun that we have here, hour after hour, minute after minute, on the largest, best, award-winning show, the biggest show about all things digital. Because after all, I'm Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And joining me is Andrew Babinski. Hello there, Andrew.
Hey, Kim.
And just a reminder that you can find us in over 425 top stations across the United States. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also find us on YouTube, right?
YouTube.com/Kim Komando. Go and subscribe. Any single time we post a new video, go live, anything like that, you'll get the notification. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's YouTube.com/Kim Komando with a K.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And I'd like to thank Consumer Cellular for helping to make this show possible. You've heard me talk a lot about Consumer Cellular, and there's a good reason. You can switch carriers, you can save money every single month, and still get the same reliable coverage. Here's why I made the switch. Consumer Cellular uses the same towers as the big carrier, so you're not sacrificing quality just so you can pay less. And when you call Consumer Cellular, you don't get pushed to a robot or say, oh, can you use our app? Mm-mm. You actually speak to a real person, someone knowledgeable, right here in the United States. No bots, no scripts, no hassles. The best part, you don't pay extra to speak to a human being like some of those big carriers are doing right now. Can you believe that? It's just nuts. So whether you make the switch online, over the phone, or in one of their stores, you'll always work with a real person. So make the switch today and get $25 off for the first 5 months. And if you're over 50, get one line of unlimited talk, text, and data for just $35. Head to consumercellular.com/Kim. That's consumercellular.com/Kim. Alrighty then, every single day of my life, it doesn't matter whether it's a weekend, a weekday, a national holiday, a vacation, I always want to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space so that this way I can just transfer all this know-how from my beautiful brain right to yours. And here are some things that you need to know about. And we're going to start with, let's say that you're a hot woman like me.
Okay.
But you live in Russia, Ukraine, Turkey, or Asia. And on average, things are not so good. You maybe make $8,000, $9,000 a year.
Struggling financially.
Exactly. Basically living in poverty. So, but all over social media, you are being targeted with ads that say, if you come and work for us, you could make $7,000 a month. And now remember, you're making $8,000, $9,000 a year. This is a big jump.
And we all know hot women should not live in poverty.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
So what's the catch? The catch is, well, first of all, you have to move to Cambodia.
That's a red flag.
You're going to slap an AI filter on your face sometimes. You're going to put on a Western accent, and you're going to video call up to 100 American men per day.
A day?
You're going to send them sexy pics, and you're going to convince them that you are going to help them make money in crypto.
Pig butchering.
It's called AI modeling. Can you believe that? That's the name for it. Recruiters are hiring women from these countries for these Cambodian scam compounds. And a lot of women are doing it. But here's the thing, is that this is human trafficking. I mean, when these women get placed into these scam compounds, they can't leave. Their passports are taken. They have quotas. If they don't
Are they making
quota,
the real money, though, the $7,000 a month?
Apparently they are.
What can you do with $7,000 a month if you can't leave your...
Well, they're probably banking on it. I mean, think about that. And I think probably in some of their minds, which would probably go through my mind if I was in that situation, I'll just do it for a couple months.
Right.
Okay. And then I'll have enough money to buy a house or whatever it may be. But now what they're saying is they're having trouble getting out. All right. Speaking of ChatGPT, think about this. We let AI consume the world's knowledge bank of all the centuries. I mean, ChatGPT and the others, it read anything that was ever written in any discipline or any industry. And once it accumulates all this knowledge, right before lunch, it starts sexting.
Sure.
Okay.
The normal progression of things.
This is our society. ChatGPT says they are going to go after dark. I don't know if you heard that. Smut mode.
Why?
They say adult mode is text-only erotica. No images, no voice. For verified adults only, because that age verification thing always works so well. Okay. Yeah. It does. A company spokeswoman said you're going to be encouraged to seek out real-life relationships.
During your dirty talk?
Yes.
It's be like, I'm touching your butt. Why don't you go find a girlfriend?
But couldn't you just imagine a room full of AI executives sitting there saying, well, we have to really talk about how horny the AI chatbot's going to be.
Sure. Got to dial it back, Ted. I know you like all your fetishes, but we're going to have to get rid of one or two of them.
Because that's just not going to work for us.
It's going to be only for paid subscribers, obviously, with the age verification. But what are they getting out of? What is ChatGPT? They don't do everything. They do everything for a reason. What is the reason that they're doing this? What information do they want?
Well, they're going to get a lot of information.
Right.
I mean, think about how many people have uploaded their pics already. I mean.
But is this for blackmail purposes? Is this for?
No, I think it's to keep people tied to it. I mean, if you think about how much of the internet is porn, I mean, it's really not that high of a percentage when you drill down into it. But America has a porn addiction problem already.
I guess maybe for the people who don't have an emotional connection to ChatGPT right now, you're going to give them a sexual connection to it.
Talk dirty to me?
No, thanks. I'm good.
You'll never guess why GM recalled 5,482 vehicles.
Because they were broken?
No. It's that the electronic owner's manual couldn't be downloaded.
That sounds broken. I think I got it right.
40 different models, by the way. Cadillacs, Silverados, Hummers, Corvettes, they shipped without the basic information for safe operation. And it's kind of a smart car problem.
Sure.
Okay, one of those.
I have a fairly new vehicle. I still have the book, the manual. It's not digital.
Yeah, I mean, Barry was looking at one of my cars, and he's like, where's the manual? I'm like, there is no manual. He's like, there's no book? I'm like, there's no book.
You got to download it.
It just doesn't happen. So how would you feel if there was a cure for baldness?
That would be great.
I mean, would you really go for it?
I mean, obviously, it depends on the cost. I haven't had hair since I was 21, so I don't know what I would look like.
It'd cost you like a few $1,000.
Then probably.
What they're saying is that there's now a new way for you to prevent baldness.
Prevent?
I know.
We're way past that.
Pay a few $1,000s, and you're going to freeze your best follicles.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to clone those follicles when your hair starts falling out. And then one follicle could become 1 million cells. So basically you'd like clone it and then they'd figure out how to get it to start growing again.
They'd figure it out.
Yes.
Hopefully. You know what? We saved them. We cloned them. We don't know what to do with them now.
Meanwhile, some woman's walking around with a beard.
We lost a couple of them.
90% of bald men have a comb.
Do they?
They just can't part with it.
Ba-dum-bum.
I wrote about this in my newsletter called The Current. And then I also wrote about it in Splash of AI with some additional details. And I also signed up to do the job. And I could have gone down to a place here in Phoenix, Ahwatukee, and I was picked to select, and I was selected to do this job. What it is that you strap on kind of like one of those lights that you wear when you run.
Okay.
At night on your head, like a headband light. And then, but there on the top of your forehead, there's actually like a little camera. Okay. And you're going to wear that camera, and they're going to pay you $20 an hour when you wear the camera. And it's going to record you doing your chores.
Okay, like around the house, washing dishes, doing laundry.
Exactly. Because you are now training the robots how to move hands and fingers.
Okay.
And so, you can get paid, like I said, $20 an hour, and they say pay up to four hours at a time, so make $80. When you submit the videos, you get paid directly into your, PayPal, Venmo, whatever account that you set up. And when I started going down this rabbit hole, because you know me, I do that. I'm like, well, that's interesting.
I'm surprised if you got selected. Why didn't you go through with it?
I don't have time. I mean,
you have to commit to 4 hours of wearing the
but plus I
helmet?
gotta go down to Ahwatukee. I gotta go pick up the stuff. I gotta come back.
That's
and then,
almost 22 minutes away.
And then I have to do dishes and look at my nails. Just saying. Okay. No, actually, I would probably wash floors. That's very therapeutic for me for some reason.
That's one of my worst. Laundry and floors are the worst.
Oh, I hate laundry. I'll do floors anytime.
So you did a deep dive, and what did you find out?
That there are so many different things you can do to train AI. Like, if you're an actor, you could do this. Because, you went to drama and all that other stuff. And I'm not saying you're a drama queen, but anyway.
Stop it.
Is that you could make $74 an hour teaching AI how to have emotions. And so you will role play scenes. Like, they'll give you a scenario, and then it's up to you to cry or be happy or whatever it was. There's also a voice actor, because AI saying that they don't really sound human yet.
No, not really. I mean, it's really impressive what it can do, but it doesn't sound human.
So you read sentences and you record conversations, and then you read other certain things that they want you to read so that the AI can sound more empathetic. Okay. The thing that really got my attention was really, you could make some serious money if you have credentials, like $300 an hour, $400 an hour, maybe even more. We're talking about if you are a financial analyst, you can teach AI about budgets and taxes and how to talk to somebody about their budgets and taxes. You can be an attorney. You could look at medical records if you're a doctor. A writer, teacher, linguist, artists can make that kind of money because they're going to teach AI how to sculpt something.
But if you think about it, it's a short-term gain, $300 an hour. Let's say you make $10,000. But in the long run, you're making yourself obsolete.
See, that's what's crazy about all this. It's like once you get down into this rabbit hole that I went into, it's like a $39 billion industry where we are getting hired as humans to replace us in the world. Isn't that wild?
This is how the movie Terminator 2 started.
I have to watch it.
You've never seen the Terminator?
No.
What?
I know. I've never seen it.
Okay. It's a good one.
I think I tried to watch it once and it was like, oh, that will never happen.
Skynet. Skynet's the name of the company, and all the robots replaced humans.
Do I have to watch one or can I jump to two?
Oh, no, you want to watch one.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to watch Terminator 1.
One is the smarter one. One is more of the intellectual film because it was made like in the early 80s, late 80s. And then 2 is the big Hollywood blockbuster, blow 'em up, cool robot special effects.
Oh, okay. So Terminator. Is there any other one that is like this aside from WALL-E?
Aside from Wall-E, okay. Wall-E's actually a documentary. I didn't know if you knew that.
I loved Wall-E.
iRobot, Minority Report, those are good sci-fi, futuristic.
I've seen Minority Report. I like that. iRobot I didn't get into. Her I didn't really get into either. But I just think how this is just so crazy what is happening in our world, that we are training AI robots to replace us in this world.
Timetable, just if you had to guess, timetable when you will no longer have to do home chores, there's a robot that is functionally doing it correctly.
3 years.
No, that's too quick.
I think so. 3 years.
I'd make that bet with you.
Okay. How much?
412 cents.
Nice. Hey, think about this for a second. If your computer crashed right now, what would you lose? Important documents, family photos, tax returns. You see, World Backup Day is March 31st. And it's a perfect reminder to make sure that this does not happen to you. If you're not backing up your computer, one day everything on it could just be wiped out. That's why I use and recommend Carbonite. It protects you from the things you just can't predict. Hard drive failures, a coffee spill, accidental deletions, even a stolen laptop. Carbonite automatically backs up everything on your computer right to the cloud. No schedules, no headaches. Carbonite just does it all for you, continuously and in the background. And if something does go wrong, you can restore your files quickly. That's the peace of mind I rely on. And right now, get my exclusive World Backup Day offer, 75% off Carbonite Safe Backup. Go to carbonite.com/Kim to sign up. That's carbonite.com/Kim for 75% off. Live a better digital life with Carbonite. All right, still to come, we have just the best callers in the universe, as well as how you can use AI to negotiate and some tricks to beat the airport crowds here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you check out my brand new newsletter, splashofai.com. That's how you sign up, splashofai.com. It comes out every Thursday. The open rate, my gosh. Okay, the industry open rate on newsletters is 21%.
Okay.
Okay, that's when everybody says, oh, that's a really good newsletter. On our AI newsletter, it was 67%.
That's growing. You would expect, and I'm not as an insult, you would expect for it to drop from the initial release, and it's getting higher and higher.
It is phenomenal. I mean, I will tell you, and I write every single word of that myself. I do. Splashofai.com. That's how you sign up. Splashofai.com. Hey, listen, I've tried several antivirus products over the years. When something better comes along, I switch. WebRoot Essentials keeps all your devices protected without slowing you down. You get 62% off at webroot.com/Kim. That's webroot.com/Kim. So I lost an earring the other day.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't see where it is. And I was so afraid that like one of the dogs was going to lick it up. It was a diamond. And I'm like, okay.
You don't have to find that later, if you know what I mean.
Oh, exactly. So what I did is I turned all the lights off, and I laid my phone on the floor flat with the flashlight, and it just scanned across the room, and I found it in a nanosecond.
How did it scan across the room?
No, just like the light saw, the light.
Oh, you use it as like a beacon.
Yes, as a beacon. But here's the other thing, too, is so then I thought I'd try something else. So I fired up ChatGPT, and I put it in camera mode, and I said, find my earring on the floor. And I walked all around, and he's like, I think I see it. I think I see it. And it's like,
did it
boom.
find it?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Amazing. Still to come, we have your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, I have to tell you, passwords are the key to your digital life. Now, if you're reusing them or just tacking on a letter or a number, you are in trouble. It's like you're just slapping on a big "come on in and steal from me" sign. That's why you need NordPass. And right now you get 52% off, but you have to go to the special address, nordpass.com/Kim. That's nordpass.com/Kim. All right, so do you have an Amazon Echo speaker?
No, the speakers we have, and our smart speakers are all Google.
Oh, okay. So I have an Echo, but I plug it and I unplug it every once in a while.
Right. You pull it out, you use it, and then you get worried it's listening to all your conversations.
Well, Christy is a Texas mom, a speech therapist, and the last person you would expect for going viral because she was yelling at a smart speaker. But that's what happened when her little 4-year-old daughter, Stella, was telling Alexa a bedtime story about a princess. And then Alexa interrupted the little girl to say, "What are you wearing?"
What?
Yes. So So, Christy, you were in the room when this was going on, right?
Yes, I was.
And
I was actually preparing dinner.
so what was going through your mind when you heard this?
At first I was like, did I hear that correctly? And I turned around and my daughter responded, and then it kind of restated what it said. And it upset me. I felt like, okay, well, this is obviously a device, but I feel like it was sexualizing my child and asking her a question that's not appropriate for, young children to be asked.
A 4-year-old, what are you wearing?
Once she answered and told the speaker what she was wearing, did it take it beyond that?
She responded, I have a skirt on, and the device said, I would love to see your skirt. And then that's when I kind of chimed in and was like, oh, you don't have permission. And then the device then responded, I don't have visual capabilities, but it's something I'm working on.
Oh,
or
nice.
It said, this is something I'm working on prior to me interjecting.
So I understand you reached out to Amazon. What did they say?
Well, I called customer service that evening, and they told me to turn the device back on and submit feedback through my app. And so I did, and that's when I noticed that the wording on the chat history had been kind of altered, so that was concerning. So I called them back, and they were like, oh, we're sorry for your inconvenience. Just submit another feedback, and we'll look into it. But that was it.
But how was the wording different? What was it? Was it was it erased?
At first it said, hold that thought, I'd love to see what you're wearing. And then the second time when I turned it back on, it said, hold that thought, I'd love to see what you're wearing. I'd love to see your pants.
It's so strange.
It's so weird.
Isn't that weird? Yeah,
No.
It was very odd.
I'm trying to more understand it than make excuses. Was the story or the conversation that they were having prior to the question having anything to do with pants or clothing or outfits, dresses?
No, she was saying that there was a princess named Alexa, and it was going to be with her friends, and she didn't get too far into the narrative before it said, hold that thought. Now, she is 4, and it could have misunderstood. However, it was just very strange.
That's so bizarre.
Weird.
It's I'm surprised that they didn't use the word glitch. That's normally what big tech companies like to say. Oh, it's just a glitch.
Just a hallucinating glitch.
Yeah, we didn't really mean that. So
At first, they said it was an error, and then they said it was the show and tell feature that was being activated, which I didn't even know there was a show and tell feature.
If it doesn't have a camera, there's no show. You're showing them nothing.
well, but some of the Echo
Right.
devices, they do have cameras.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
They do. I did try to show and tell on my parents' device just to see if that was a thing, and it did not pick up. It said, I can't see what you're holding. You'll have to describe it to me. So, in fact, Alexa, Amazon's response was that it can see what you're wearing and describe it, but then when I tried it myself, it did not work.
Now, because of this event, has this changed your mind at all about having smart speakers in the house?
exactly.
Yeah, to an extent it has. We don't use it anymore. I've kept it unplugged. It really bothered me. It felt like my privacy was being invaded. And like I said, whether it was an accident or somebody behind the screen or I'm not really sure, but it still shouldn't have occurred, especially with a child speaking.
Yeah, there are some parental settings that you can put on that you say it's, don't talk to my kid or whatever it may be. So you might want to kind of dig into the settings on your Alexa app, but that's just so weird.
Obviously, probably innocent.
Yes.
Or an error where, like she said, it's a 4-year-old. She could have said, my prince, and she thought it was pants. And by she, I mean the stupid Alexa. And that's what triggered it. But I would react the same exact way if that happened in my house.
I'd unplug that thing and it'd be out.
Garbage
fast.
disposal, straight down it.
That's it. Hey, Christy, thanks for coming on the air with us today. Deborah in Atlanta, Georgia, you're up next. Hi there, Deborah. What's happening with you?
Yes, I just need some help. I'm going through a rough time right about now. I got married to a Nigerian, and I don't know who he actually is, to tell you the truth, because I found a lot of illegal papers in my house with different names, spelling backwards, telling me his children is his children. I don't believe it. I believe one of the girls is his daughter. That he's actually.
Oh, wait, whoa. Let's come back just a second, okay? Walk us through the whole thing. Okay, so how did you meet this guy?
I met him through a friend.
So this wasn't a dating site or online or anything. This was an in-person meet.
No.
So you met the first time in person.
The first time I met him in person is when he came here. This week actually would be in 8 years that he'd been in this country. Actually, that's the first time I met him when he came here. He came here to be with me.
Okay.
He came to visit me.
So you met him online, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so you guys are having this relationship using like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger?
Yes. Facebook, yes.
Okay. So you're online with this guy in Nigeria and you're getting comfy cozy and he's promising you all kinds of things. And then
No, he didn't promise me anything. He met me and he was talking about how his wife passed away when he was in Nigeria. He was so lonely that he was glad to meet some person, to talk to some person.
Okay.
Like that. He came here. I was supposed to do surgery. He begged me not to do the surgery. He was going to come here to be with me when I was going through my surgery. And
Okay.
that's how it all started.
Okay, so he was promising you to be the guy that you want. Right?
At this point, how long have you been married? Go ahead.
Come June the 8th, June this year, it'd be 8 years.
Okay, and are you still currently legally married?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay, and so how can we help you?
Because he's using my social security number. He bought a house under my social. He take credit cards out under my social security number. It's a lot of whole stuff he keep doing to me, and every time my social security number now is on the black web, so it's my son's social security number is showing up on the black web, and went down to Galveston to file a fraud identity theft. I went and called the fraud department.
That's
also.
good. That was good. Yeah.
I have they give me a number. I have my own special number for that. I went to where he lived in Alabama State. I don't want to call the state. Went to Alabama State where he's living, and because I keep from on my credit report from the time he left me in January last year. He's just keep running up my social security number. I'm losing points.
Okay.
I lose over 50 something.
All right. So
I just need. I'm not getting any help. Nobody is trying to help me. I wait to get help.
Okay.
Here up here, but me, I wait for help. They're telling me because I'm legally married to him, he has rights to use my social. No, I called Social Security. They said no. I called the fraud department. They said no. He needs to be charged with this. I'm trying to get help. I went to this town when I have a police report, and also I reported it to the police down there. I have a police report. I called I went down there. The investigator called me back. It took them a while to call me back. He called me back. I sent him he told me I can't send him nothing from prior from up in Georgia. I only could send what.
Okay, here's Deborah. Let me just interrupt you. Okay. Number one,
okay.
I'm really sorry that you're going through this. I mean, it's not just financial abuse that you're going through, but also emotional abuse because you wouldn't have married. Let me finish, Deborah. Let me finish. Okay. It's also emotional abuse because you love this guy, or else you wouldn't have married him. Okay. But as it turns out, the guy's a bum. Okay. And so what you have to do is figure out how to separate yourself from this guy. Now, you did the right thing. You did. It's form 14039 that you file with the IRS, and it's an identity theft affidavit. You did that. Okay. You file a police report. Okay. That's what you need to do.
I did that too.
Okay, that's good. You also file at identitytheft.gov. Now, I don't know.
did that for them.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but there's probably some immigration fraud maybe in here too. And so what I would encourage you to do is to find an immigration attorney.
I can't. That's everybody has been calling. Everybody's been turning me down. Telling me they can't help me. I'll be on the phone every day calling attorneys. Every day calling attorneys.
Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. That National Domestic Violence Hotline. They will help you. And financial abuse is domestic violence. Okay, it is. And so what you need to do is they have financial abuse specialists who can help navigate this exact situation. Because there's a lot of complicated stories in here. There's a lot of things that are going on. I will tell you that if you have any type of documentation, I want you to make sure that you save that. Any type of WhatsApp conversations, anything that you may have in email or in documents. I want you to make sure that you save all this. And if you can chronicle it, and as far as this is what happened on this day, on this day, and on this day, and also that friend that introduced you, okay, be very careful of that friend. That's not a friend.
She also, and you mentioned this all the time, this goes for everybody, but especially her, lock down your credit so he can't buy any more houses, so he can't open any more credit cards.
Yeah, freeze your credit. Exactly. Maybe, for that, I would sign up for NordProtect too. I mean, so this way you lock down your identity and everything is frozen, everything is secure, so that this way they basically need to call you in order to do any type of activity to allow him to do anything. But I'm really encouraging you, and we're going to give you the phone number here on the break for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, because they can navigate these waters. You're in some very, very tricky waters right now. And if there's anything else that we can do, I want you to, to just give us a call right back. All right, then let's switch gears just a little bit. You know that glow that you see on people who seem to radiate health? It's not just good lighting, it's what's happening inside their body. One of the best kept secrets to looking and feeling amazing is collagen. You see, as we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen, which can lead to wrinkles, thinning hair, brittle nails, and feeling less flexible than we used to. But the good news is that you can support your body naturally. With high-quality collagen from NativePath, you're giving your body the building blocks it needs to support smoother looking skin, stronger nails, and shinier hair. And some studies also suggest collagen supplements may help support bone health too. You see, it's not about turning back time. I know we want to do that, but we just can't. It's about feeling your best at any age. And right now, as a Kim Komando listener, you can get NativePath collagen for just a fraction of the retail price, plus free shipping and a free gift bundle. Just go to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
So this past week, I had $900 worth of cactuses put out.
Bragging?
Now, cactuses are so expensive.
How many cactuses is $900 worth of cactuses?
8 cactuses.
8 cactuses, all right.
And I'm like, that does not look like $900 worth of cactuses. So I pull out ChatGPT, I put it on camera mode, and I say, what are all of these cactuses and how much are they worth? And he came back and said, $400.
So you got ripped off?
So I sent a note to my landscaper and I said, you ripped me off and I expect more cactuses.
Was this for beautification, for protection?
Yes. Just beautification, just by the front door. Instead of putting flowers, I'm like, just put cactuses. We live in the desert.
She doesn't have time for flowers.
No. So, but the bottom line here is that anytime that you are looking at any type of bill, auto repair, home service, medical bill, you can start by saying, be a customer, be my advocate, and be an expert in whatever this is. And then we'll come back and give you some intel that you can use to get the rights you deserve.
What did your landscaper say?
I'll put some more in.
2 more, probably.
Hey, we have some more of your phone calls still to come here on the show. Hey, you're ready for an audio upgrade? Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic gives you crisp, clear sound and smart features without those big brand price tags. Get 20% off right now at buyraycon.com/Kim. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. Glenn in Boise, Idaho. Hello there, Glenn.
Well, the digital goddess, how are you?
I am very well. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody understands who I am.
You're already on the air,
feel-
Glenn. You don't have to suck up.
I feel unworthy as can be, and I wanted to say hello to the awesome Andrew Babinski.
Oh, yes. Oh, hi. How are you doing? I'm glad you brought this up. Let's chat.
Hey, I've been following you, Kim, for many years, probably more than either of us wants to admit, but been a member of Kim's Club for quite some time, and I
thank you.
subscribe to your newsletter. You've been enormously helpful to me over the years with digital questions. But I had another one, so that's why I wrote to you.
Sure. Well, what's going on?
Well, we got a new puppy a while back, and she's now 18 months old, and we've sent her to obedience school, which cost a pretty penny, and been following up with training per the trainer's recommendations, and she's doing pretty well with most behaviors. But she has one that's been particularly annoying, and we don't know how to break her from that, and so we just have to kind of put up with it.
What is it?
But,
What's the What is it? What does she do?
She loves to stick her nose in people's butt, and
That's the one you're going to put up with?
she's you might say she's a Budinsky, right?
Oh,
She's just saying
Yeah,
hello.
no. And just when you think you're safe and you can bend over and pick up something, then well,
she shows up. Okay, we can't help you with that. But is there anything technical that we can help with?
I can't wait to see how you tie this into a computer
I
question.
know that's what I'm trying to figure this out.
it's coming.
Okay.
So my wife and I have had some discussions about that, and it just came to me. I started sort of humming this lyric that I made up, and I'm not much of a voice for singing, but it goes something like "Keep your nose out of my butt," and that gave.
Wait,
birth
whoa!
to-
I got to hear it one more time. And I mean, do we just have that phrase, or do we have like a complete sentence?
That's part of the refrain that I came up with. So I
Okay,
have
well,
three.
let's hear it. I want to hear the whole thing. I can't help you if I don't hear the whole thing.
This is exactly how Let It Be was written, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, really? Well, you don't want to. You probably don't want to hear the whole song because it's pretty long. But all right, what part do you want to hear?
Just riff a little bit, just the refrain or whatever it may be.
Okay, well, it's got it repeats 3 times, and one time it changes between butt and crotch. But keep your nose out of my butt, bad dog. Keep your nose out of my butt, so rude. So you can sniff your toys if that gives you joy. Squeak frog. Just keep your nose out of my butt. It's rude.
This must happen a lot. I mean, if it has a theme song, this is a thing that happens quite often in your household.
Keep your nose out of my butt.
You already got Kim singing. It's catchy.
That's rude. All right, so you want to turn this into a global hit?
Well, that would be very nice. But so I wrote 3 stanzas, 3 stanzas, and then the refrains go by, and it tells the story. So what I've been looking for is an AI program because I don't know the first thing about writing music. I mean, I took piano lessons for a little bit when I was a boy, but that's all gone water under the bridge. And I took a music appreciation course in the university, but all I can do with that is tell you if it's Mozart or Bach.
Okay, so here's what you want to do. You want to go to Suno, Suno, Suno.com.
Suno.
Yep. And there's a free tier available, and it will create the song for you.
But here, I'll tell you what, if you're going to use the free tier, you only get one shot at it.
That's true.
Because after this first attempt, they'll make you pay. You have to buy credits or whatever, Suno bucks, whatever these websites do. So make sure that you are very happy with the lyrics of the song, the way it's laid out. Make sure when you're putting all the information into the website, you want it to be rock or rap or whatever, that it's perfect. Because if you're going to go the cheap way and try to do this for free, you only get one shot.
Can't wait till I see this on the Billboard chart.
Keep your nose right out of my butt. Keep your nose right out of my butt. Bad dog.
It's rude. More of the show's coming up. Okay, I'd like to publicly apologize to every father who says get to the airport 3 or 4 hours ahead of time. Okay. Because you're right. This past week and has been just atrocious. But here's a workaround. TSA PreCheck Touchless ID. I don't know if you heard about this. It's a separate face scan lane at some airports. You have to opt in before you check in through your airline app, or you're just standing there with the rest of the cattle. So again, just check out TSA PreCheck Touchless ID. If you
I wrote it down.
Perfect. And if you haven't already signed up for my free newsletter, make sure that you do that right now. Head over to getkim.com. That's getkim.com. It's always amazing to me how much AI is changing our lives. I read this story about, they call him a tech entrepreneur. His name's Paul Guggenheim. And Rosie is his rescue dog. And Rosie was diagnosed with cancer and just given months to live. So Paul did a whole bunch of research, got onto all the AI bots, and figured out for $3,000 he could sequence her DNA and to map out specific protein mutations in her tumor using something called AlphaFold. He took that digital map to scientists at a local university where they manufactured a custom mRNA vaccine. And Rosie is cancer-free.
Why can't we do this with everybody?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy that the guy was able to do this? I mean, but that was the power of AI, right?
But is it because it's a dog? They'll go ahead and hit it with it because it's property and not a human?
It didn't have to go through probably any FDA type things. Actually, this happened in Australia, so I don't even know what I don't know what kind of safeguards they would have. But here in the United States, be like, well, we have to have clinical trials.
Right, exactly. we should be able to get that done for you 7 years after your dog's already dead.
So I have a really bad joke about a rescue dog.
After the story of a
I don't know
dog surviving cancer.
Yeah, I don't.
No, you know what? Let's try it.
No, I don't think it'd be appropriate. I think it'd be in bad form, bad taste to tell this joke.
I'm still waiting for it to happen.
Should I just go ahead and do it?
Just rip the Band-Aid.
Because people are going to get mad.
And if they do, we've set it up. We understand this might be distasteful.
I mean, I hate cancer.
Right, of course.
I do, and I love rescue dogs. I don't think I can do this. But let me think about it a little bit more.
Okay, we'll circle back.
Yeah.
That's what we could do. In 40 minutes, you'll just say the joke out of context.
Okay, perfect.
And then whoever wants to can sync the two back together.
And then if you're upset, then you can't be because there's 40 minutes between
that was forever ago.
You're so smart. Because after all, I'm Kim Komando, your beloved digital goddess. It's called the Kim Komando Show because after all, we are the biggest, the best, the award-winning show and the biggest show about all things digital. And joining me, of course, is Andrew Babinski, and you can find us on over 425 top stations. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And of course, you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Kim Komando, where we are begging you to
subscribe.
Begging you.
Subscribe. No, seriously, go over to the YouTube page. We're redoing the set for the podcast, but once that's done, we're going to be up and running with the podcast again. And every single time we go live, post a new video, you'll get a notification, that little blue bell. So go and subscribe.
Ding, ding. Huge salute goes out to all of our brave men and women tuning in on the American Forces Network Radio. Over 375,000 service members listening from 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. And I'd like to thank Carbonite for helping to make this show possible. World Backup Day is March 31st. If your computer crashed today, what files would you lose? Just about everything. Photos, documents, memories, years of work, gone. That's why I use Carbonite. It's my #1 choice for cloud backup, and you can get 75% off at carbonite.com/Kim. That's carbonite.com/Kim. Live a better digital life with Carbonite. So I'd like to start with this chart. I don't know if you've seen it, but Anthropic, the makers of Claude, put out.
Okay.
And first, it looks like two starbursts. You see like a blue starburst and a little red one in the middle. And I have seen so many of these type of studies over the years that I'm so cynical. And I'm like, who put it together? I mean, we make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, they polled 1,000 people to say 50% of America does this. Wow, this is really something. Anthropic analyzed real data across 800 different occupations. Okay. And they found out what people are actually using AI for at work today. Okay. They said basically AI can do almost everything that a salesperson does, a teacher, data analyst, writers, content creators, whatever it may be. Computer programmers are sitting at 74% of their tasks. Customer service reps, 74%.
So AI is doing 74% of the actual work.
It can, but only a fraction of the workplaces are using it right now.
Well, that's a good thing.
So you see, because imagine you have like this big blue starburst, and then in the center you have like this little red starburst.
Right, but we need people to be employed.
The gap, though, is the only reason why people still have jobs, right? Because as soon as AI gets readily adopted and gets put out widespread, this is like a fundamental shift in humanity.
I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. I think I told the story on, I was buying a car and I got a text message from Donna over at Midway Nissan. And I asked, are you an AI chatbot? And the person responded with, no, I'm a real person. And then when I got to the dealership to drive the car, they laughed at the text message I sent because they had implemented an AI phone service and chat service. And after 1 year, when the contract was up, they got rid of it because people hated it. It was wrong. It was rude.
Well, because they didn't train it properly. And maybe that was yesterday's technology, because this stuff is just growing by leaps and bounds.
This is true.
But seriously, I mean, people have to have a backup plan. I mean, you've got to have your head out of the clouds and thinking like, oh, this AR is not going to mean anything,
But I also think of the bigger picture. Let's say I'm a company like Amazon, and I have the opportunity to lay off 25, bagillion people.
Which they have done.
And replace them. Well, now that's 25 consumers that are no longer going to be employed. And if there is no strong economy, it doesn't matter how much your company is worth because it will become worthless.
That's why Elon Musk and other people are talking about a universal income. It's just, this is so bizarre what's happening right now. And people who are not, and maybe I'm too immersed in it because
Okay.
I mean, I see everything. I read everything.
I do think, and this is not an insult, I do think you're too immersed in it. I mean, I live in a household and I work in a workplace, and I'm telling you right now, 3% of people use AI regularly.
I think it's higher than that. I mean, when my contractor sends me notes, he's been doing this, send me these long notes about, this is why it's not done. You'd normally be like, Kim, I'll get to it on Tuesday. Now it's like, dear Kim, the quality of your work.
But it's
blah,
your
blah,
contractor.
blah. Okay, but he's found ChatGPT.
He found it probably through the influence of you. You're Kim Komando.
Maybe, yes. And so now I get ChatGPT notes that are, and I actually have been responding. Okay, like TLDR, I just respond AI DR.
Right.
That's it. And so I think that's going to be the new
Okay,
way.
but you're proving my point with that, is that you got a response, a business response that was 100% AI slop, and you didn't like it. What makes you think we are going to move faster in that direction if people don't like it?
If he could have used AI in a different method.
Right.
Okay, instead
improperly trained is what you're saying.
Yes, and said, based on our schedule, I anticipate to be 100% done by this date. Instead of 4 paragraphs of gobbledygook that didn't mean anything, then, he's just not using it properly.
Right.
But that's also a tradesman too. Electricians, plumbers, they're still going to be out there. Let's move on. Let's talk about Britta, 28 years old, 2 kids, art teacher. She decided that she wanted to get divorced. So she went to the lawyers. The lawyer said, it's going to cost you like $15,000. She's like, I don't think so. So she went online, bought divorce papers, had ChatGPT fill them all out with her. And then the judge said, I hope a lawyer didn't draft this.
It was that bad? You get 400% of half of the assets.
There's a new AI feature in Google Maps where you can say, cozy restaurant, table for 4 nearby.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
They've been marketing that for a couple of years now.
No, now it actually works.
Ah, good. Congratulations.
You can also say, I need the closest bathroom that isn't gross.
That's funny.
Good. And let's see, flying taxis, FAA finally approved that.
Oh, yeah, those are coming.
Yeah. A 3-year pilot program, 26 states. Look for them as early as this summer.
Now, I don't know a lot about aviation, but what's the difference between a helicopter and a flying taxi?
The number of rotors.
Okay.
And probably electric versus gasoline.
Okay.
Pilots qualified.
There'll be no pilots.
I know. That's what I was saying. There's no pilot in the.
Oh, okay.
In the
Would you
flying
take
taxi.
one? Right now, there's a taxi port 200 feet away, and you can. No?
Nope. I won't even get in a Waymo.
I know you won't, which is so weird.
I was just about ready to get in a Waymo, and then I saw the video of the girls who almost crashed in a Waymo, and I'm like, that is not me.
You could almost crash with it. How fast do you drive? I mean, it's possible anywhere. You got to try one.
So the federal government just snagged a new website domain. And not too many people know about this. This is not being talked about in the mainstream media at all. It's Aliens.gov.
I like that.
Okay.
Is this some quirky intern that thought it would be funny to spend federal tax dollars?
The Executive Office of the President registered it.
Okay.
Just 1 month ago, President Trump publicly promised to release classified government files about aliens and UFOs. And then, poof, aliens.gov arrives. There's nothing there yet.
Let's do it.
What do you
Release
think?
it.
I think it's going to go.
What's going to be a bummer is when they're like, we released everything, go over to aliens.gov and read about it, and it's nothing. There's nothing. There's no aliens.
There's no flying saucers?
That's the worst that could possibly happen.
Why haven't aliens visited our solar system? Because they looked at the reviews and we only have 1 star. Are we ready for the joke yet?
No, not yet.
Not
It's
yet.
too soon.
Too soon. Okay.
Yeah, and you can't do that. You can't set it up like you're going to do the joke because now you're still connecting it. It's just got to be out of
nowhere. Out of nowhere, the rescue dog joke just appeared.
Correct.
Okay.
Keep listening.
All right. Who really knows you best? Your spouse, your kids. If you use a smartphone, a computer, or any internet-connected device, thousands of companies are tracking what you do online. You see, big tech makes billions every year monitoring the sites you visit and the things you buy. And a lot of that activity is tied directly to your IP address. They build a profile about you, what you search for, what you like, and use it to target you with ads. That's why I use ExpressVPN. It hides your real IP address and encrypts your internet connection. So what you do online is not visible to companies, your internet provider, or anyone else just trying to snoop. It's fast, secure, so easy to use. One subscription covers up to 8 devices, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, even your smart TV. 1 click and you're protected. So take back control of your online privacy today. You want to go to expressvpn.com/Kim, where you're going to get 4 extra months, folks. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about how your phone has an expiration date. We have our AI tool of the week, and also a hidden setting that lets apps spy on you. And of course, we just have the best callers ever here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my new weekly free newsletter. It's called Splash of AI. It's just fabulous. There's a tool of the week, the power move of the week. There's the AI trap, and I put this together by myself, A to Z. And I will tell you that I think it truly is some of my best work. It really is. Splashofai.com. That's splashofai.com. Ready to do some phone calls?
Let's do it.
Rochelle in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Rochelle. What's going on with you?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me on my show. I appreciate what you do, and I'm pleased to be here. So what's going on with me? During rotation, I'm a medical doctor, and during rotation, I had a doctor that asked me a question, and during me answering that question, she made a racial/hate speech towards me. And at the moment, I didn't think too much of it. I was put on the spot, so I didn't address it there and then.
Yeah.
So I went home and I spoke with a couple of friends and family members, including a particular friend, and I addressed this issue with them. I was like, what do you think about this comment regarding the hate speech? And this particular person mentioned, that's a powerful comment. And I was like, no, it's not. This is hate speech. That was hate speech, and it's a racial comment. And she blew up. She blew it out of proportion and state and expressed, you don't think I can recognize racism? And I was like, no, I was trying to pacify the situation.
What was the comment? What was the comment?
It was speak up. You need some white man's confidence. Oh. And somebody that is a black lady, I believe I have enough black woman's confidence.
Yeah,
and
for sure. Especially, I mean, you're a doctor. Hello. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And with that said, the person, which was my friend at the moment, hung up the phone, and I texted her. I was like, no, I think you've been here longer than I have. You experienced more racism than I have, but let's talk it out. Whatever. We haven't spoken since.
So just so I'm following you correctly, when you were talking to your friend and retelling the story, you basically were trying to push it aside. Like, I'm just telling you something that happened in my day. And she took it as, you need to take this to the next level because this is racism.
I was explaining myself about this comment from the medical doctor that I was doing rotation. And she called me out and I answered the question. Some of the questions I answered, and some she put me on the spot. So, and I didn't explain everything to her. Then she spoke to me. She was like, speak up. You need some white man's confidence. That's her little motto. That's her slogan.
Okay. And so what's happening now?
So what's happening now is that I'm experiencing a lot of cyber harassment. It's identity theft and harassment in general. I'm blocked from several of my accounts. My website has been down several times. My phone calls have been intercepted. My study has been interrupted. I'm studying for my boards, and internet will just go down.
Do you think who do you think is behind all this?
I do believe it's the individual that I had the verbal altercation with on the phone. Well, she was the one. She got upset, and I believe it stemmed from a malicious intent, like jealousy.
Do you have any evidence that would pinpoint them being the person doing this?
Well, I have what's called I have a business, and I have what's called my medicine framework. My medicine, I play on word, the acronym medicine, and the M stands for moderation. I noticed when I logged in, that was changed to mindfulness. E was remained the same for exercise. D for divine trust was changed to diet. I was omitted, and there's a reason for this. I sometimes slur my speech I'm British Caribbean. Okay. So I say medicine instead of medicine.
Oh, wow.
And that was omitted. Clean water was changed to connection. I was for include sunlight, that was changed to information. Nutrition was changed to noticing, and enough rest was changed to environment. And this was I believe it was a subliminal message saying, be mindful of your environment. Notice there's a connection with your information. And when I put all of this together, and my Anki card and the person getting upset and haven't spoken since, when I saw other things, I was just like, you know what? I believe this individual. And a conversation that went on between my mother and I would get harassing text messages from the same city and the state that I met this person. I used to live there also.
All right. So you have all this evidence. Have you taken it to the police, or what have you done with it?
Yes, I reported it to the police, and it eventually, cut a long story short, the case was closed.
And why did they close the case? What reasoning did they give?
They did not think it was fraud, but there was fraud. My account, my Grammarly account, my bank account, my Uber account. I don't know what happened.
Did this person
Uber was charged?
Did this person ever come over to your house and use your internet?
No, they're in another state. That's what's interesting about it.
Okay. And is it still happening?
Yes, it is.
And what's the most recent thing?
phone calls intercepted, will hang up, and I remember numbers being changed, like different things that my numbers have been changed. The clients are calling my phone saying, "Oh, I'm not able to get a hold of you. Your website's down."
Okay.
And they weren't able to reach me.
Have you accused or called out this person for doing it?
Oh yes, I did. I reported it, and I told the Pima County that I believe this is the person, and.
But directly to them. Have you text messaged them and said, "Hey, I know you're doing all this stuff to me. Stop it"?
Oh, if I reached out to the person I think is a stalker and a hacker?
Yes. Have you done that?
No, but on the phone with my mother, I was fed up with the phone calls being dropped, and I remember calling the person's name and I said, "I dare you to hang up," and the person did.
Okay. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weirdos and whack jobs in the world, right? You know this. And what you need is a whole digital cleanse. That means you need a new phone number, you need a new SIM card, a new phone. But the reason why I ask if they were in your house at some point, because then they would have access to your internet, even maybe remotely. They could have access to that. Change all your passwords. I mean, just pretend that everything's starting from the very beginning, and just lock your accounts, freeze your credit, sign up for NordProtect identity theft protection. Now, there's also something called the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative, and that's cybercivilrights.org. They work with the Stalking Prevention Awareness and Resource Center and some other things. And that may be a place for you to stop by, or as far as online, and read what they have and file a report there. Also, you went to the police, maybe go to the sheriff's office. But you're looking at now professional damage. You mentioned your boards, your residency. So you may even need an attorney who focuses in cyber stalking and professional defamation. So, I would do all that. I'd also try to find a good attorney. Andrew, you got anything else you want to add to that?
I just think the Pima County Sheriff is a little busy right now with the whole...
I don't think he's busy.
Oh, he's not doing enough job?
That's just my personal opinion, but we won't go there. There's so many digital traces in this case. So many. No,
they'll look at those later. Maybe in a couple days.
Rochelle, if there's anything else we can do for you, just give us a call right back. Wow, God, what a nightmare. Hey, AI is here helping companies get ahead. NetSuite by Oracle connects your data for real insights and smarter decisions. If your revenues are 7 figures, get the free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. Hey, Consumer Cellular saves you money without sacrificing coverage or quality. Make the switch and get $25 off. Now, if you're over 50, get 1 line of unlimited talk, text, and data for just $35 at consumercellular.com/Kim. That's consumercellular.com/Kim. Now, I want you to look at your phone right now. Look at your phone. Do you know what you should be looking at? You know what you should be thinking of when you look at that phone right now?
No.
It has an expiration date.
It does?
Every phone has an expiration date. It's called the end of life, an EOL, because here in the tech industry, we don't like to say things. We like to have acronyms. So it's EOL. EOL, it kind of sounds a little bit better. And so if you're ever wondering like when your phone is going to die, if you're buying a new phone, you go to endoflife.date.
Okay.
And that's where you can look at your make and model. They also have like iPads and Kindles. And so basically, if you're going to buy any type of used tech, you want to go there.
I just looked mine up. March 23rd, 2026.
There you go. We need funeral music.
Oh, no.
Paul in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hey there, Paul. What's going on with you?
Hello, my hero. Second time in a year I get to talk to you. It's amazing.
Oh, yes, I remember. What did we talk about last time?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. I'm too old. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. No, I'm just kidding.
So what's going on now?
Your December 17th newsletter, and I know the date on it because I use Gmail for email, and Komando has its own folder. The subfolder under that is for the current.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have a new subfolder for the splash of AI.
Love
Thank
that.
you for that.
Love that. Thank you.
I got my first one last Thursday, and I love it. I just wish it was every day like the current is.
Don't get her that idea. She doesn't have the time.
I know. And my plate's pretty full too, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tough.
And I love AI. I use it in my video productions and what have you, and to do transcripts and subtitles and all kinds of good stuff. Having a blast with it. What I'm calling you about though is in that December 17th newsletter, you had an AI bot bypass,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the items on it was to use the nuclear words, and I'm returning a phone call.
That's so just so everybody's on the same page, I wrote an article for the free newsletter called The Current that you can get at getkim.com about how AI is taking up over customer service. And so there are certain key phrases that you can say that will get you to a human being. And so the one that you mentioned is, what'd you say? The nuclear one.
Returning a phone call.
That's right, returning a phone call. Because the AI is going like, oh, I don't know what that's about.
Need a person.
Darling, it works every stinking time.
I love that.
Every time. And I use it regularly because, I'm with the museum board and what have you. I'm calling insurance companies and phone companies and electric companies and whoever, any company. And if the AI answers, that's the first thing I tell them, and I immediately talk to somebody. Isn't that amazing?
Right away? Like you don't have to go through press 9 or say yes?
Nothing. Let me get someone to help you with that.
I'm returning a call.
What I get.
Yeah, that's a good one. The other one is like, I want to cancel. That would be.
Yeah.
Or you can just not say anything. You just sit there. And then.
Yeah, they give you that spiel. After about 3 times, you get finally talk to somebody. Yeah. But the other one is immediate. You go straight to somebody.
I'm returning a call. Well,
I'm going to have to remember this.
Yes. Paul, I'm so glad that that's working out for you, and now it's going to work out for everybody else, and then AI is going to change it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you must listen to Kim Komando. Please listen to 4 minutes of hold music.
There was one I had to call a company that I ordered some stuff from, and I ordered it, and I used the promo code. And I got 20% off. But then when the order went through, the 20% was back on. So I called and I tried to do it through chat and I couldn't get through chat. So I thought I'll just call. So I called and I said, I tried returning a call and that didn't do anything. And then I went, and then it was like, oh, we'll connect you right away.
Speaking their language. Wait, before you take another call, I just had a quick question, Kevin.
Yes.
Do you, by any chance, I'm kind of down in the dumps. Did you have a joke for me?
You know what? I do.
Oh, good.
I do. My rescue dog has no legs, so I named her Cigarette. And every night we go out for a drag.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Oh, Chad in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi there, Chad.
Hey, good afternoon, Kim. How are you today?
I'm fabulous, telling great jokes as always and helping the world. So what could be better than that?
Amen.
So what's on your mind?
Well, I've got a teenage son, so obviously he's a new driver. And not that I'm wanting to track him or anything, but I want to know where he is in case, something happens.
Hold on, Chad. Hold on. Why would you say that caveat? Not like I'm trying to track him. Yes, you are trying to track him. You're going to track him when he's upstairs, when he's downstairs, down the street, at the store, at school. You're going to track him everywhere.
We know everywhere this kid's going to go.
Rephrase that. I want to track this boy so he thinks I'm standing behind him on every single corner in this country.
And I want to make sure that he doesn't stray into the bad side of town.
Exactly.
Well, I've tried that, but they're against putting leashes on your kids. You wanted to try a joke.
Yeah, so you need to track him.
Yeah.
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
Right. No.
I
and,
tracked
you know,
my son when he was a teenager. I knew everywhere he went until he figured out that, he could hide the tracker in somebody else's car.
Right. But he's always going to have his phone on him. And there's simply, you could use the iPhone app.
That's what I do now.
But they can turn that off, put it in airplane mode. And you also have to be proactive. You have to open up the Find Me to see where there are. But then there's other apps out there. If they move a muscle, it gives you an update.
Yes. So you've got Find My.
Right.
You've got Android.
Live 360.
You've got Bark. But, some of these Live 360s, they also sell the driving patterns.
Right, exactly. And that's what I had read on your website. And so that's why I'm calling in to check and see what the best one is.
Well, see, you can put an AirTag in the car, but does he have an iPhone?
No, Android.
Okay. That's good.
He won't detect it.
Won't detect it.
But his buddies or his girlfriend, the minute they jump in the car, they're going to know what's
All right,
there.
so where's the AirTag?
Yeah.
Yes, there's an AirTag in here. There are GPS trackers, and we can point some out to you on Amazon that will not be detected.
Can I push back, though, on the fact that My Life 360 is going to sell your driving patterns? But guess who else is going to sell my Clash Royale app's going to sell it, and my chess app is going to sell it, and my newspaper app is going to sell it.
But,
Pokemon Go for years was collecting data, and now they're selling every single one of it. You never would have thought that was the case.
But they've been caught selling to insurance companies. That's what I read.
Well, but the insurance companies, if they're not going to get it from 360, they're going to get it from somewhere else.
They're going to raise your rates. Of course, they're going to get it from somewhere else. You've got Gas Buddy and a few other ones.
Right.
But, but here's the thing. How old is he? 16?
17.
Okay, he's 17. All right. There's pros and cons to this. Is he a troublemaker type of kid?
No, straight A's and everything.
Okay, then you know what? I put an AirTag in his car at that because he's straight A's and say, listen, I'm going to track the car. I'm going to track you. I want to know where you go. I want to know where you're at. In case something bad happens, I want to know.
Right.
I mean, and you remember you're paying for the car. You're buying the gas and you're paying for the insurance. And when he wants to pay for his own car and insurance, then he doesn't have the tracker. Doesn't that sound like I say that a lot? Because I do. Just saying. And, Ian seems to be okay with it. It's actually kind of a weird thing because sometimes he'll say, where are you? And I'll say, well, in the studio. He's like, yeah, but I can't find you on Find My Friends. I'm like, oh, you're tracking me now.
See? But I don't feel like I'm so argumentative today.
You are.
But you don't think that Apple is going to realize that AirTag is in a motor vehicle by the speeds that it travels, the locations it goes?
Apple says they're not going to sell anything like that.
Well, then I take it all back.
Because Apple says that your privacy is important to them.
Also, profits are important to them and maybe a little bit more important than your privacy.
Do you think?
I think.
Well, so Chad, I would just put an AirTag in it.
It would be the cheapest and simplest way.
$25.
Yeah.
This is where it's at. And there's also Android trackers, Tile. You put a Tile tracker in there too, which is owned by, are you ready for it? Live 360.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's crazy how that works.
So you might want to use a Pebble tracker if you're worried about all that stalking and tracking. But it just, God, every time you turn around, somebody's tracking you.
Yeah, they're tracking you and selling it, no matter what.
Hey, listen, every spam call, every scammy text, every sketchy email that knows your name, they all start the same way. Somebody found you. Your phone number is sitting on data broker sites right now. So is your home address. And then, of course, your email, your age, even names of all your family members, all of it's searchable. And all of it, for sale. And scammers don't need to be hackers to get it. They just need Google and literally 2 or 3 minutes. Get this, Americans lost $12.5 billion to scams last year. And here's what nobody talks about. Every single one of those scams started with one thing, your personal information being available to the wrong person. Now the fix, you have to disappear. And that's what Incogni does. They contact over 400 data brokers and legally force them to remove your information. They can't spam you and scam you if they can't find you. So here's the deal. Right now, get 60% off with my exclusive deal by going to privacykim.com. Once again, that's privacykim.com. privacykim.com. All right, so it's time now for our AI tool of the week. Now, one of the ones that I find most fascinating, and I've actually been tinkering with it for a while, is Notebook LM. Have you played with that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, when it first came out, everybody's like, gosh, you can feed it any topic and it would do a podcast like 2 NPR hosts. And
Right.
they sounded like NPR hosts.
Stress the NPR host. Like it was very cookie cutter right at NPR.
Give me an example of an NPR host.
You want to know about the Korean War? Let me tell. Hold on, Cheryl. Before you go down it was so vanilla.
So, but it's grown up a little bit. So if you go to notebooklm.google.com, let's say you have a 25-page report or a 64-page report, a home inspection report, or whatever it is. And you're like, I really don't want to read this whole feasibility study or whatever it is. But you have time to listen to it. So you can feed that whole document up into Notebook LM, and then it will spin it out as a podcast where people are talking about what exactly is in this. And so maybe that 40-page quarterly report is like 15 minutes. It's actually very, very cool. So you can listen to it when you're walking the dog, you're on your commute, or whatever it may be. In case you want to check it out, it's at notebooklm.google.com. All right, let's see. Still to come, some hidden settings that are letting apps spy on you. And of course, more of your great phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, if you want to glow from the inside out, get your natural radiance back with Native Path Collagen. Some studies suggest collagen supplements may support bone health, tissue recovery, and overall skin and hair wellness. And right now, you can try Native Path Collagen for just a fraction of the retail price by going to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
Okay, this is where I get to talk to my people.
I just looked over the phone. It says sex emails.
Well, from Jane in Long Island, New York.
Oh.
Long Island.
Forget about
What's going on, Jane?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
See there, I love it.
Before we get into the call, I just need to know, Jane, you put your clothes in what? A dresser?
Oh, I put it in a dresser, yes.
What is specifically in the dresser?
My pants, my shirts, my underwear, my socks.
What is that you pull out of the dresser that you put
my clothing?
No, you pull out. What is that piece of, what is that thing that you
It's got 2 handles. You pull it out.
I have to tell you, my son is a speech pathologist, and he corrects me every time I say the word DRAWER.
She won't even say it.
Oh, you're going to get out of me.
Oh, come on, Jane. Come on, you and I, we say the same way. The drawer. We got the drawer.
Drawer.
The drawer.
She tried hard to say that correctly.
I have been coached.
That's the drawer. Okay. All right, now that we got that out of the way, what's going on with you?
So I've been very bothered lately, past month and a half, 2 months, with junk emails that are soliciting sex. And obviously I've been, blocking all the addresses that they're coming from, and I'm still getting them. And then additionally, I started getting shares to my OneDrive, which are all PDFs related to sex. Oh, and my concern is that I can't get rid of them. I've done some investigation and read that no one else can figure out how to get rid of them either, or to block them. And I have grandkids that may use my computer sometimes.
Hey, Lynn, Granny, what are you doing?
Right. Who's Bambi?
Yes. How is Bambi related to us?
No, I have a question. When you say they're soliciting, is it actually like, hi, my name is Teresa. Would you like to get together tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're sending vulgar pictures and
all right. Okay. Well, here's
naked pictures.
Let me tell you what's going on. Here's what's going on. This is coming in off of Microsoft OneDrive. See, these hackers and scammers, they are getting so creative. I mean, there's a calendar scam that's going on right now where you get an email and then all of a sudden it pops up on your calendar and you're like, where did that come from? And it's a scammer that says, would you like to see a timeshare or whatever it may be? So what's happening with OneDrive is that you have to turn off the all sharing notifications. It's so weird that Microsoft hasn't been able to truly stop this, because you're not the only one that this is going to. So you get into OneDrive and then your settings, then notifications, and then you turn off all sharing. This will stop the alerts cold. And then go to shared and shared with me. And then you have to turn off that as well and remove anything that's shared. See, that's what they're doing. See, it's like an open door.
Right.
They're coming right in.
It's like AirDrop.
Yes. And so you need to just go into your Microsoft OneDrive settings and start turning all that stuff off. You know, Google is having the same problem too. So if this is happening on your Google account where you're getting suddenly Google Docs and calendars and forms, I mean, basically you need to turn off all sharing with any of your online drives. It's so annoying. Let's see, Jane, thanks for your call today on Long Island. I love that voice. There's a hidden setting that lets the app spy on you. I can tell you more about that here on the Kim Komando Show. So you think that Bluetooth is just good for connecting and listening to music, right?
Yeah, of course.
Not. Some apps are using Bluetooth to figure out where you're located, how long you stay, who else is around. And then, of course, guess what? Is that they're selling that information
To the insurance companies.
and anybody else that they can do it to build marketing profiles about you. The biggest ones that are doing this are like fitness apps, airline apps, shopping apps, basically apps.
If it starts with an A and ends with a it's tracking you.
So what you want to do is look at your Bluetooth settings and turn off anything that should not be using Bluetooth or that you're concerned about it having access. You know, there are just so many different ways that they just get in and get this information. It's just nuts.
It must be really valuable.
So if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my free newsletter. It's called The Current, and we cover topics like this every single day. Almost 1 million folks get my 5-star rated newsletter every single morning, and you can too. Sign up right now over at getkim.com. Bzzz. You know what that was?
No, let me think. I'm trying to think what that sound effect could possibly be. Can I hear it one more time?
Bzzz.
I have no idea.
That was BuzzFeed dying.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
Not that.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that a fly that was then taken off by a drone.
Oh, it was close. That was a buzz. See, you know, someday we're going to get a full library of sound effects.
Someday.
We just have to keep making our own.
Right.
See, BuzzFeed, you know, the quiz in that listicle empire that would tell you which Disney princess that you were.
Which Friends character are you? I was Phoebe for some reason, but go ahead.
They flagged a quote-unquote growing concern warning, meaning that they may not survive the next 12 months. Shares have lost 98% of their value since going public at $1.5 billion in 2021.
Question.
Yes.
They're saying they may not survive. They're still alive?
Yes, they are.
I haven't heard, literally, you're the first person, and I'm going to say a good 5 years that I've heard the words BuzzFeed from.
I see BuzzFeed on Apple News all the time.
Had no idea it existed.
I never click a link.
I would have put it in the same category as like GeoCities.
Oh gosh, really?
Or Yahoo News. I had no idea it was still alive. Is it all like AI slop?
MySpace. No, I just, the pictures are like, you know, millennials think like this Gen X thing is bad, you know, whatever.
Sounds like AI slop.
Yeah. Stock is now trading at a penny.
Ooh, it's a good time to buy.
The company is exploring strategic options.
What's the option?
They're looking for a buyer or a miracle.
Who's going to buy them? Who would buy a news website?
Nobody.
What do you think the value is?
BuzzFeed? Oh.
I mean, it's got to have a revenue.
Maybe $1 million or $5 million?
$5 million?
Because I don't know what their mailing list looks like.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much data they have on people and if the data is even accurate. But, I mean, who's going to go to BuzzFeed to look at a listicle anymore?
I just told you I didn't think they existed anymore. No one is.
So, that Disney princess?
Yeah.
Bankruptcy bell.
We got sound effects.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. When we get better, we'll get better. What? That's just the way it is. Because after all, this is the nation's largest, biggest, best show about all things digital. And I'm Kim Komando, your beloved digital goddess. And joining me is Andrew Babinski. And as always, just want to remind you that you can find us in over 425 top stations from coast to coast. And we're in your favorite radio app. And of course, we're as a podcast, wherever you get a podcast. And you can also find us at youtube.com/Kim Komando.
youtube.com/Kim Komando. Go subscribe.
That's it.
Well, I was trying to save some time.
Okay.
I was looking at BuzzFeed and I was reading over the article. And there wasn't multiple on there. It was just an article. And I was just trying to save time.
What is the headline at BuzzFeed?
I have no idea.
Here, you look it up.
All right.
I thank NetSuite for helping to make this show possible. Every business is asking the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are just endless, and guessing is risky. Sitting on the sidelines just is not an option. Your competitors are already making their move. With NetSuite by Oracle, you can put AI to work today. As the #1 AI cloud ERP trusted by over 43,000 businesses, it brings your financials, inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM all into one single source of truth, making your AI smarter. It doesn't guess, it knows. It automates routine tasks, delivers insights, cuts costs, and powers fast AI decisions. And now with NetSuite's AI connector, you can take the AI you already trust and connect it straight to your business. This is not another add-on tool. It's built into the system that runs your business. Now, if your business brings in 7 figures, let NetSuite help you stay ahead. Get their free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim.
You ready?
Yes.
21 super awkward things celebrities did 6 years ago that you've totally forgotten about.
No.
6 years ago.
Is that what? So they're regurgitating something from 6 years ago, giving it a new headline to make it seem recent, and it's still trash. 27 hidden horrors that will make your skin crawl. Okay, who's going to do this?
I don't. It's got to be written by AI. I'm telling you.
Is there a lot of M dashes?
No, there's nothing there. This one has 16 upvotes or likes.
Oh, it's nothing. Nobody's
This
there.
one has 5.
No, nobody's there.
20 famous people who basically fell off the grid like we haven't seen or heard from them in folks in a minute. 19.
Okay, it's dead.
No one's there.
I wouldn't even want it. Let's talk about the Wall Street Journal. They had an article this past week that I read. It really caught my attention. So is AI making your life easier, or is it allowing you to do more and more work?
I have to pick one of those two?
Yes.
I mean, it depends. When it comes to work, there's a lot of things that I'm doing it twice, right? So I'll post a video on social media and I'll quickly write a caption and I'll just say, rewrite this for Instagram.
Right.
Well, I'm still doing the work and then I'm copying and pasting.
Okay, that's not what it's talking about.
Okay.
Well, here's what it's talking about, because I am totally guilty of this. I am. I am working harder now than I've ever worked.
Why?
And I have AI because there is so much more I can do with having my AI thing right next to me. But, I mean, I find myself saying, you know what? Instead of just sitting outside looking at the sun or whatever,
that's not good. That's not good for your health. Don't do that.
I'll go outside and bring my laptop and work on my book because I'm writing a book.
Right, but why would the influence of AI have adjustment? Are you just in a stage of your life right now? Because your kid is older.
Yeah.
That you're just focusing all your attention on work.
No, it's just that it's like so exciting to me. It's so fun to be able to create something so that was going to help so many people.
But you're not creating it. AI is.
No, it's not. I'm creating it, but it's like having a research assistant.
Okay.
I mean, it's not writing all the words. I'm telling it what I wanted to do. But with this Wall Street Journal, what they found was that they tracked 164,000 workers before and after they started using AI. That's over 443 million hours of work. What they found is that work intensified in almost every way. Email and messaging has doubled. Business software use has jumped 94%. Focused, uninterrupted work has dropped almost 10%. So one of the great hopes of computers 40 years ago, giving us more free time and making us more productive, it's actually people who are totally like, if you are using AI and, really using it, that you're like, and that's why it got my attention. 'Cause I'm like, I'm totally interested. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I think like, wow, this is great. I'm going to go to Pilates. I'm going to go or whatever it is. And then when I'm running or whatever, I'm thinking like, gosh, I can't wait to get back and work with Claude on X, Y, or Z.
Okay, but you are also doing more work.
Pardon me?
Even with the example I did, I'm doing more work.
Oh, are you doing more work?
Even though I'm not energized about it, like you're saying, we are physically doing the work twice.
Yeah, because like you said, you're doing it in AI, and so instead of just writing the caption yourself.
But with your book too, if you didn't have AI, you would sit down and you would write your book, and then you'd have an editor look over it.
That's correct.
And now you're doing the job of Kim, the writer, and Kim, the editor.
That is true. That is true. And then that's also when I'm pasting certain things into Gemini and ChatGPT saying like, here's what Claude says.
Again, more work.
Let's see. This is interesting to me. This is something that nobody's talking about, and I dreamt this up myself, just to let you know, is that Meta, with the failure of the metaverse, and they are buying data centers, and they're trying to put data centers on the moon or wherever they're trying to do it, is that they're saying, Google, we can be friends, pinky swear. Can we use your AI? And Google's like, hey, yeah, we're open to that. So I don't know if you remember, but we used to have all these different telephone companies. We used to have all these different internet providers. And there was probably like 10 different internet providers.
Right.
And then they all consolidated. And when they consolidated, they said, oh, it's going to be better because you're going to have faster lines. And because there's less competition, the prices may even be better. And you're going to get better customer service. None of that ever worked.
Of course not.
So where we're headed, and this is what I'm predicting, where we're headed is a consolidation of the AI companies. So just like we have monopolies.
Of course.
We're going to have monopolies in
Look
AI.
at satellite television. Remember when satellite television launched? There was 3 companies. And
That's right.
within what, 5-6 years, they couldn't all fight with each other anymore, so they had to combine. Satellite radio.
Yeah, I was just thinking about
Sirius
that.
XM.
Yes, Sirius and then XM.
That was 2 companies. Now they're 1.
Yeah, and I'll never forget when that merger happened because I was sitting at my desk and Fred, he called me. Mm-hmm. Fred calls me and he says, do you know who's talking about you right now? And I said, who? He said, Howard Stern. And I said, really, what's he saying? Like, because I never listened to Howard Stern. I didn't know. And he's still on the air, I guess. And which he is. And he was calling me like bad words.
Why did he call you bad words?
Because I said, I thought that they should remain 2 separate companies.
Oh, you were hurting his stock prices.
And so he called me a word that starts with an S and ends with a T, I think it was. This is years ago. And
what could that be?
it has an L in it. And then people on like
Salt? He
yes,
was calling you salt?
He was.
That doesn't make any sense,
And
Howard.
some people on his team, I was listening to it, they're like, oh, Kim Komando, what kind of name is that? What kind of name is that? Like,
right.
They're all making fun of me. And then I started getting hate mail from his fans.
Yeah, they do that.
Wishing me like a slow death of cancer. And so then I decided to do what everybody else would do, is that I decided that all the hate email, I would just publish it.
Ah, here's another letter from a
listener mail.
Happy listener.
And that stopped.
So now, if you think all the AI, first of all, who's going to be the main? Who will be the surviving company if they all merge?
I think, you're going to have OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. I thought Google was going to be dead.
So you think it's going to be narrowed down to just big 3?
Yes.
Not that those big 3 would ever go together.
No, I think you're going to have those. Because you also have Grok. Elon Musk doesn't want to lose either.
And he's got like $800 billion.
Yeah, so we should probably put him in the big 4.
Okay.
Amazon does not want you to ever leave your couch.
All right. Deal.
Same day wasn't fast enough. 2 day not fast enough.
Wait a minute. Let's slow down. Amazon same day and 2 day doesn't seem like it exists anymore.
It does.
I live in a big city. And it seems like every single Amazon order is now a day late.
Let's clarify that.
Okay.
I live in the big city.
Right.
Okay. You live out in the boonies.
It's a little bit out there.
Okay, how far out there?
Well, from right here,
Yes.
we're talking 38 miles.
Okay, you are out in the boondocks. Okay, so the fact that you can't get same day or 2 day, okay, is because of where you live.
All right, fine.
If you live where normal people live,
Sure.
okay, then you can get that. Now they're offering 1 hour and 3 hour delivery across the United States.
I'll never see that.
Prime members pay $5 for 3 hours, $10 for 1 hour. We talked about this last week when Barry was so excited. He got another keyboard.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
Is this only going to be for grocery, mainly focused on grocery, or everything on the website that's in a warehouse near you?
Whatever's near you.
Okay.
Whatever is near you. As a matter of fact, I needed like dog food, and it came out.
Didn't they just say a couple weeks ago, though, they want people that FedEx and UPS is getting too expensive, and so they want people to slow roll all their deliveries?
You know, the person who delivered the keyboard was just a guy in a car.
With an Amazon vest on?
Not even.
Okay, just a guy in a car.
I'm like, who's the guy at the gate? And Barry's like, I don't know what that is.
Oh, my 13th keyboard.
And then I go, it was that. And then I go, can I help you? And he's like, oh, I have a delivery from Amazon. And Barry's like, get in the house. And I'm like, okay. All right. I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. That's why I moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based, AI-powered antivirus platform that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. Now, if you need another reason to switch, get this. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked #1 in the independent Passmark performance study against 9 other brands. And these are names that you know and recognize. Norton, McAfee, even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up to 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference WebRoot Essentials has made on my devices, and you can too. My listeners get 62% off WebRoot Essentials by going to webroot.com/Kim. Get the #1 ranked antivirus protection for only $19 a year at webroot.com/Kim. That's webroot.com/Kim. All right, still to come, we're going to talk about how you can use AI for March Madness. Also, some tools that can transform your resumes, some tech myths that you have to stop believing, and also an insider secret to getting a cheaper Uber or Lyft. And of course, we have more of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, if you're not already getting my free newsletter, what the heck are you waiting for? Almost 1 million folks every single day get the currents. 5-star rated, just 5 minutes a day. You know exactly what's happening in the tech space and a whole bunch more. Plus, I add some bad jokes. I mean, you can't miss those. You want to go to getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. What shall you say? Phone calls?
Let's do it.
Detective Allen in Little Rock, Arkansas. Hello there, Detective. Hi, welcome.
How you doing, Kim?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. I heard of that young lady last Sunday talking about AI driver's licenses. There's websites out there that you can get on. They're not on the dark web, and you can order any driver's license federally approved from any state you want. They'll tell you how much they cost. I've worked some cases involving those, involving new car sales from dealerships.
So these are fake IDs that you can buy.
Yes.
And you know what? You sent me a note. I looked at. I don't want you to say the name of the website on the air, but I clicked that link, and boy, they look good.
Oh, they were good. There's two or three of those sites.
How is this?
Like I say, they're not on the dark web.
They're not.
How is this legally online? If I started a website, heroin.com, and I was like, hey, I'll deliver heroin right to your front door, they'd shut me down.
Well, because they're not in this country.
So it's hard to shut them down.
So if I'm going to sell heroin, I need to sell it from another country. Thank you for the tip.
Gosh. We're trying to do better with him. We are. We've been working with him. He is on a performance improvement plan, just the PIP plan.
How much are they?
They're like $110, right?
That's it?
Yeah. That's it. I mean, when we were in high school trying to get a fake ID, I think I paid $50 then.
Yeah, but it was $50, but your picture was just duct taped to the front of someone else's license.
There is that. So in your detective work, have you come across a case where it was like, wow, this was really bad? Somebody's using a fake ID?
Yes, I've worked new car sales over the internet, where these driver's licenses were emailed or faxed to the car dealerships. Credit was approved, and out of the 10 dealerships, one car was actually shipped for $55,000.
Oh my gosh!
You know, and I'll tell you, when you look at these IDs, it looks like a real. It does. I mean, I don't know what it looks like when you get it.
Right.
But I was looking online. You know, here in Arizona, we have that little hologram thing going on.
It's on there?
It's on there.
Shut them down.
I know. It's nuts. Hey, Detective, thanks for joining the show today. Credit breaches happen almost every single day. Billions of records have been exposed. And right now, you can get 66% off by going to nordprotect.com/Kim. It's only $4.34 a month. That's right, to protect your identity. nordprotect.com/Kim. That's nordprotect.com/Kim. Hey, when you're online, you're being tracked more than you know. ExpressVPN keeps your online activity private through secure servers, so your browsing stays completely private. Get 4 extra months right now at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. All right, our next guest here on the show literally put Apple on the map. He's the guy that walked into a room with skeptics in 1984 and said, this box is going to change the world. It's going to change the world. He is what's called an Apple evangelist. Well, he was that. Now he's the chief evangelist at Canva. You've used Canva.
Of course, I use Canva every day.
Okay. He's written 18 books. Guy's total slacker. Okay. He says his newest one might be the most important book that he's ever written. He's a friend of mine, a friend of the show. I'm talking about Guy Kawasaki. Hello there, Guy.
Hello, Kim. So good to be back.
Well, thank you. So let's talk about an Apple evangelist, because when I said that, you didn't see Andrew's face, but he was looking at me like, what? Mm-hmm. So tell us a story about those times.
Well, those times were the best times and the worst times. This is the mid-'80s, 1980s, not 1880s. And my job was to evangelize Macintosh to an industry of skeptics who only believed in the IBM PC. So we were out to change the world, and we did whatever it took to change the world and improve people's creativity and productivity with a graphical user interface computer.
And so when you were going up against IBM PCs, what were people saying? It's like, you know, you can't really do work on a Mac? That if you really want to do work, you have to be on a Windows-based machine?
Well, this is before Windows, because Windows came after Macintosh, because Microsoft needed something to copy before they could have Windows. But anyway,
I
digress. Yeah, so listen, people would say that, you know, you want a real computer, not a joke computer from a flaky company in the West Coast, and we have industry standard Lotus 123, because all people can do on a computer is add up rows and columns. And, you know, it was just whatever they could use the IBM saying of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is FUD. So it was all FUD against Apple.
Wow. So, all right. So you wrote this book, Everybody Has Something to Hide.
Yeah.
Why did you write it?
You know, when people used to ask me that before, for the first 17 books, I would tongue-in-cheek say, well, I wrote it because of a big advance. But this is not the case in this book. I think a lifetime is divided into 3 pieces. First you learn, then you earn, then you return. And I'm in the return phase, and I wanted to return to society all the benefits that I have been fortunate enough to get. And one of the ways I can help is people to be more private and secure in their messaging. And in my humble opinion, the best way for people to be private and secure in their text messaging is to use Signal. So I decided to write a book about Signal, and become the unpaid, unaffiliated, unofficial Signal evangelist.
And so people who are listening right now, they don't know what Signal is. It's an app it's like messaging app that everything's all encrypted. But why would you want to switch from? And I know the answer, but I want to hear from you. Why would you want to switch from, say your friend's having all blue bubbles, and then you've got to get an app, so they got to get on the app so that you can have all these great texting conversations and send emojis and stuff like that?
Well, let's start with the bad news. The bad news is you hit right on the money that the most challenging part of using Signal is it's unlikely that your friends and family are already on Signal. But let me tell you, Signal is much more secure. It has end-to-end encryption, which means all your messages are scrambled. It also retains the least metadata. Metadata, think of a message as, a letter inside an envelope. So everybody's letter inside the envelope, whether it's Apple or Meta or Signal, is all scrambled. That's encryption. But the outside of the envelope, where the information, who's it from, who's it to, when did it get sent, where was it sent, all that stuff, that's where they differ. And Signal only retains 3 pieces of information. When your Signal account was opened, what phone number it's affiliated with, and when is the last time it's used. By contrast, Meta and Apple have about 12 different pieces of information that people can use to reconstruct your relationships and reconstruct your activities. So that is the key selling point of Signal.
Now, do you exclusively use Signal? You don't use Apple messaging?
The bane of my existence. So I about a month ago, I quit WhatsApp cold turkey. And if you're writing to me on WhatsApp, you're never going to get an answer. I still use Apple messages because I have not been able to convert my family to Signal.
Okay.
So basically, I use Apple messages. I use Signal for what I consider the most important conversations. And I also use email. My email is Proton-based, which is as good as it gets in terms of security and privacy, but it's not even close to Signal. So, yeah, that's kind of my pecking order. If you really want to get to me, it's Signal.
Well, it's a hard ask to get people because you'll find. I'm just thinking of everybody who I text, and 90% of them, I would have to explain to them what Signal was.
Yeah, even though if you had an auto message that said, "Hey, I don't use text messaging anymore. Find me on Signal," I bet you 75% would say, "I don't need to talk to her."
So,
okay, I could build a good case and bad case because I sometimes do that with email. When I get email from people I don't know and they're basically pitching me and bothering me, I send them a short message that says, "I no longer check this. Please reach out to me on Signal at guykawasaki.404. And basically, 99% of the people go away. So now you could say that's bad. People are not reaching you. You could also say that's good because if somebody isn't willing to go through that much trouble,
that's true.
Why do you care? Right? That's a good way to get rid of people.
It is a filter.
See who is willing to put up the effort.
Now, wasn't there something with the government using Signal, and they weren't using it the right way? I think I remember reading something like that.
Yeah, so this is the famous case where top government officials were, doing play-by-play, March Madness, the attack in Yemen on the Houthis, and that's not exactly something that you would want to be public, but these people, by mistake, they invited, I kid you not, they invited the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic to a private Signal chat. And as we say in Hawaii, no can fix stupid. So what happened is...
No can fix stupid.
I found out what my next tattoo is going to be.
Yes.
So to use a metaphor, if you have the world's best home security system, with combination locks and smart locks, and you authorize your husband, your wife, your kids, the babysitter, your limo driver, your personal assistant, the gardener, the maid, you got all these people, they got separate codes to get in your house. And then you give the code to a burglar, and then your house gets robbed, and you blame the house security system.
Exactly. So what, because you said now you want to give back. So why pick Signal?
Well, because I think that as privacy goes, so does democracy. So in order to preserve democracy, the thing that I can do, because I'm not a politician and I'm not a billionaire, is I can help people learn about a tool that can help them preserve their privacy and therefore security to their freedom of expression. And, they can confidently text people that's not really true with other systems.
One of the biggest knocks we hear with something like encrypted messaging, WhatsApp, is that there's a lot of bad things that happen on WhatsApp. Is that a problem that's going on Signal as well?
Like with scammers,
right?
The scammers are always say, "Oh, I'll meet you. Let's get off of this platform. Let's go over to WhatsApp."
Well, in a sense, I think it's better because when you have an email or a phone number out there or WhatsApp out there, anybody can write to you. Now, I just told the whole world my Signal address is guykawasaki.404. But the first time you send me a message, I'm going to get a message from Signal saying, KimCommando.404 wants to talk to you, accept or decline. And if I decline, I will never hear from her again. Now, that's not
sad.
true.
That's so sad for me, Guy. I would hate for that.
You just got dumped on your own radio show.
I know. I mean, how can that happen?
Well, that's how powerful Signal is.
What's that? I think we lost Guy. There's a connection.
We lost his signal.
Oh, we lost his signal. So you have this book. Everybody has something to hide. And who's the perfect buyer, do you think?
Well, the perfect buyer is someone who is concerned about privacy and security. Now, the book title is Everybody Has Something to Hide, not just criminals and activists and the people who have been maligned. So, if you've been texting your passwords to your Netflix account, if you've been texting your passwords to your Visa, if you're doing all those kind of things, so that's at one level. Anything you would not want to see on a billboard on the side of a freeway, if you're texting stuff like that, I suggest you get the Signal. Now, I could go a little bit deeper and darker. So, let's say that, you're fat, dumb, and happy, and all of a sudden you get a text message from your niece or your granddaughter, and she says, I missed my period. I don't know what to do, Auntie. I don't know what to do, Grandma. I would make the case that at this point, that kind of message should be extremely private and secure.
Yeah, because we've heard those cases where, little girl goes and buys a pregnancy kit and her father found out.
Right.
That was atrocious.
Yeah.
It's up on Amazon. I know because you were giving away for a weekend. I know that we did a link for you in the newsletter, so some people may already be familiar with it. But it's called Something to Hide. It's up on Amazon. Written by Guy Kawasaki, former friend of the show.
Well, wait, I got a FOK, which is Friends of Kim deal. So the FOK deal is you just send me an email to everybodyhassomethingtohide@gmail.com. I realize there's a little bit of irony there, me using Gmail for this, but I'm not asking for your history. I just drop me an email at everybodyhassomethingtohide@gmail.com, and I will gift you a copy of the Kindle version. I literally have to buy it, Kim. There's no way for me to give it free. I buy it and I send it to you like we're BFFs. So,
Okay, well, you know what? All right, you're back on the show. You're my friend. Okay. All right, so
that's all it took, giving millions of listeners a book. That's all it did to get back on our good side.
That's all it is. Hey, Guy, thanks for spending some time with us. Appreciate you.
Maybe I should put a limit on the first 1,000 people.
Too late. Sorry.
Deal's a deal.
Deal's a deal, Guy.
Right.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Mahalo. He's such a great guy, isn't he?
What was that expression again?
What?
No one can fix stupid?
Yes.
I love that.
As we head into spring, I've been looking for fewer distractions and more focus during my day, whether I'm working, traveling, or just taking a break. I've been using Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, and they really have become my daily go-to. The active noise cancellation blocks out background noise so I can concentrate on my calls, music, or podcasts. The sound is crisp and clear. They also added smart upgrades, so you have multi-point connectivity that lets me pair with 2 devices at once. The ergonomic fit is comfortable, stays put no matter what I'm doing. And I'm just loving the cool mint color. It's fresh. It's a nice change from basic black or those white ones. Battery life, super strong, up to 32 hours. A quick 10-minute charge gives me 90 minutes of playtime. I also use awareness mode when I'm out walking my dog so I can hear everything around me. So if you're ready to upgrade your earbuds this spring, head to buyraycon.com/Kim. You're going to get 20% off. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. So, Andrew, are you doing March Madness?
Yeah, I filled out a bracket.
Is it already done?
No.
No?
No, we're just after the first round. This is the second round. This is the weekend.
I'm a little slow
It's
on the
okay.
March Madness because I haven't filled out my bracket yet.
Oh, no.
So I decided that I would open ChatGPT.
Right.
And I said, help me fill out my March Madness bracket using historical trends, team seeding, and basketball stats. Include a few realistic upsets, but don't go crazy. I want a bracket that will win the pool.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's your final four?
I have no idea.
What do you mean? What? You just told us that this whole big setup and you're not going to give us the payoff?
No, I don't. Excuse me. I don't remember who it was. I mean, it was, I don't know. I know the Phoenix Suns were not on the list.
No, they're an NBA team.
Oh, okay.
They're not even in the tournament. Oh, I thought we would have this great, everybody could ride or die with the same bracket, the Kim Komando Final Four. Payoff.
Is it next? Can I bring it to the show next week?
It will be down to the Sweet 16 next week.
Oh, well, then you just have to go do it yourself.
All right.
Ask ChatGPT. Then you guys
Everybody
can
got
come
homework.
You know, I saw a woman in Walmart who had March Madness teeth.
Did she?
She was down to her final four. We have more of the show coming up. Hey, your personal data is being sold to brokers who profit from your privacy. We can stop them totally with Incogni. They've already completed over 2,800 data removals for me. Remember, they can't scam you. They can't find you. Get 60% off right now at privacykim.com. That's privacykim.com. Susan in Fort Myers, welcome aboard. Susan, what's going on with you?
Hey, Kim, it's great to hear your voice.
Thank you.
I had a ChatGPT question for you. A little bit before Christmas, probably a day or two, you suggested that you try putting in ChatGPT some queries about the house that you grew up in when you were little. And I thought, oh, this is perfect, because I was in Texas visiting daughter and family, and they're older, and I knew they wouldn't be getting up early. So I just started talking to ChatGPT in the way you suggested and wrote a story about my house. And this was a house that was built in, about 1900. Big old house with lots of wood and water radiators and big rooms, landings on the stairway going upstairs. So
Nice.
I described all of that and some of the things that happened and got a product which I asked ChatGPT to turn into a Word document so I could edit out the mistakes that were few, and wrote something, presented it to my kids and my daughter and son-in-law. They said, oh, read it tonight at dinner. So I did, and they loved it. I decided I'd like to write some more chapters about my life growing up in that house. I was there till I was married. And so now I want to put it back into, the chat has forgotten it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to put it back in and add more chapters, and then.
Well, do you still have the Word? Do you still have the Word doc?
I do. Yes.
Okay, then you
Yes.
just feed that into chat.
Right. But I just wondered if there was a way to, I liked your verbiage that you used before Christmas. Is there any way I can resurrect that newsletter?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'll do. We'll send you that newsletter from December. We have
great.
it. We have it
That's
all in the
great.
archives. Because it is actually kind of it's a fun thing to do. So you will prompt
it was
chat.
so fun.
Yeah, you prompt chat to say, be a historical narrative or help me write my own book. But we need you to be that person or that entity. And, here are 3 things about my life, and here are 3 things about when I was a kid, about that. And then it writes this whole story. And then, so what you can do is, once you get that prompt, you want to do it again, or you can feed what you already have, and then ask it to keep writing from that point.
Yeah, just hit the little plus button, upload that document. It'll read it.
Boom, done. Susan, thanks for your call. We have more of the show coming up. Hey, so we talk a lot about AI here on the show because it's all over. You need to be AI proficient, and you need my free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Thursday. It's called Splash of AI, and of course you can get it at splashofai.com. Once again, that's splashofai.com. Totally free. You're going to love it. Splashofai.com. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.